Okay, this is Zephaniah chapter 2. Chesalaki chapter 1, and starting at verse 14, and it reads, The great day of the Lord is near, it is near, and hasten greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty men shall cry there bitterly. So that means all your tough guys, your soldiers, your special ops, Navy SEALs, Green Berets, all of your tough men are gonna cry bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, a day of distress, a day of wasteness, a day of desolation, a day of darkness, a day of gloominess, a day of clouds, a day of thick darkness. Don't sound like nothing good, and don't sound like nothing you could pray away. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men that they shall walk like blind men because they have sinned against the Lord. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung, as shit. That's what dung is. How's that for your sweet Jesus coming back? Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. That's the missiles and the chariots. For he shall make even a speedily riddance of all them that dwell in the land. It ain't gonna take no time, man. The Most High is gonna send his son back and just lay waste to this place, man. And that's all it is to it. What was I? Okay. This is Second Thessalonians 2, and started verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed as the son of perdition. That's Esau, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is as God, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High, which he ain't. But like I said, the point being is that nothing but death and destruction is coming, man, when Yahweh Shai comes back. And that's the bottom line. Just one calamity after another, man. And that's all it's gonna be. Okay, let's keep going with that same spirit, man. Just saying that how all this is unfolding and it's gonna go, man. It's there's gonna be no good thing, man, unless you part of the election of Israel, man. This is Amos chapter 5, and I'm gonna start at verse 18. And it reads, Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is a day of darkness and not light, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. So somehow you get away from a lion and a bear's waiting on you. Or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? So, from what these scriptures say, man, I mean, how you would get anything other than death and destruction out of that, man? It tells you it's a day of darkness and ain't gonna be no light, man. You know, it's a day of woe, and the word woe means destruction, man. You know, and it even starts out at verse 18 saying, "Woe unto you." It's hey, bro, if you wacky tacky Christians want to follow that lame doctrine that you've been taught, man, that Jesus is coming back and everything's gonna be okay when he gets here and he's just gonna hug everybody and high five people, and everybody's gonna have a good time, and then we're gonna float away on some clouds with some little fat, naked, half naked white baby angels floating around, and we all laid back on clouds, man. If that's what you want to believe, man, you're gonna be phased, dazed, and amazed when them clouds crack open and Yahweh comes back, man, with the heavenly army. It ain't gonna be nothing like that, man. Then you're gonna find out all your prayers didn't work either. That's gonna be a double whammy, man. You got to find out all the nonsense you prayed for, none of it came to fruition, and it didn't, and what you thought was gonna happen is not what happened. Because you never got into the scriptures to find out what they said was gonna happen. You know, and then when we try to tell you what's coming, what's gonna happen, y'all don't want to hear nothing we got to say. You want to fan the hand at that, man. You know, but you'll listen to your pastor telling you some nonsense, man. And I mean utter nonsense. That's just God damn, man. You know, so I say the water Yahweh, man, for calling me out of that nonsense. And other brothers were in the so-called church too, man. You know, called out of that nonsense, man. Because we believed all that shit at one time too. But then once you get into these scriptures, it's like, whoa, they don't say nothing. They don't say nothing like that, man. The day of the Lord is a day of gloominess and a day of darkness. It says, man, hey, as if a man did escape from a lion and only to run into a bear, man. What that means is just one calamity after another. If this don't get you, that will. It's no getting away from it. Nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. You're not going to be able to hit the woods. You're not going to be able to get on a boat and get out of here. You're not going to be able to get out of here in a plane. It's nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. Because as I just said, it's going to be one calamity after the other, man. And that's all it is to it. That was so I don't want to say. Okay, I'll bring this out. This is Obadiah 1:15, and it reads, "For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head." So wherever you stood, man, whatever you did or whatever you didn't do, you're going to get paid for it. If it was wickedness, you're going to get paid for wickedness, man. If it was righteousness, you're going to get rewarded for righteousness, man. It says, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Just point blank, man. Simple. It's not, that ain't hard to understand, man. Okay, you know what? Let me bring this out. Yeah, this is Joel chapter 1 and 15, verse 15. And it reads, alas for the day, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and is as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. Now, how you don't understand that? And I'm gonna read it again because I stumbled over it. But if you can't understand that, man, this is not for you. Joel chapter 1, verse 15. Alas for the day of the Lord is at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. So the day of the Lord is coming as a destruction, man. And it's coming from the Almighty. That's him issuing this. And like I said, man, you're going to get rewarded for what you did or didn't do. This is Joel chapter 2. So I'm going to start Start at verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound the alarm in my holy mountain, and let the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Let the inhabitants tremble. You would you tremble at something good? It's nothing, man. It's if it, look, if the Most High is telling you to blow the trumpet, if the Most High said tremble, and God damn it, what the hell do you think this is, man? Verse 2. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, there had not been ever like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. There's never been a day like the day of the Lord. There'll never be another one like it. But that's telling, hey man, that day is unmatched by any day, any horrific events, whatever you thought you knew that was, oh my God, all these people died in this, in these tsunamis and these floods and these explosions and earthquakes. Bro, you ain't, man, look, it's like that old song, man, I've said this before, by Bachman Turner Overdrive, where they say, baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. Hey man, that day is gonna be like no other, man. And it's coming with death and destruction, man. Destruction, and it's because going back to Joel 1 and 15, is the day of destruction from the Almighty shall it come. It's coming straight from the Most High, man. And the Most High said, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, because the day of the Lord is just one calamity after another. Now, man, that was all I had on that, man. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.